Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mahsa and I do a mixture of lifestyle content, bookish content and small business content, but my small business is like bookish a little bit, so it all kind of goes together. But hi, welcome, thank you for joining me today. We are going to be doing my March TBR. Now, I almost didn't make this video because there's very little I can talk about on this TBR. So the books are really far into the series, so I can't really talk about them very much, but that's okay because I've thrown in a few palette cleanses and I think it's gonna be pretty good. Can I get through all these books? Honestly, probably not. Like, I don't know who I think I am, but I like making lists, I like looking at books, so here we are. Let's get into this. So to start off with, and I'm already laughing because if you've been here a while, or even if you saw my February TBR list, then you know where I stand on the Throne of Glass series. So I've started it, I think multiple times. I got a few books in and then just didn't care, so I gave up. I think this time's going to be different. So in February, and there's going to be a reading vlog of me trying to get through this series, so that'll be coming. It'll be like probably like a 3-part series of me just trying to get through all these books, and they are chonky. So I started reading Assassin's Blade in February and I was really into that, which is unexpected. So I was very unexpectedly like hooked in, loved it, all of the things. And now I am like halfway through Throne of Glass, I think, so by the end of Feb that should be finished, and then I'll be moving on to the other books in the series, hence why I can't really talk about them. So if you haven't heard of the Throne of Glass series, it is a series by Sarah J. Maas, and it is about a girl called Selena who is a notorious assassin and has been raised to be an assassin from a very young age. She gets betrayed and ends up in the salt mines of Endovia, and it's basically like a slave camp, like you go there to die. And she ends up getting recruited to take part in this tournament of sorts to become the king's champion. And that's where we are in the first book. The Assassin's Blade, which is the one I mentioned originally, that's like the prequel to how she ends up there almost. Yeah, so I am halfway through the first one. So this month's TBR, as in March, we are going to try and tackle Crown of Midnight, which is the second book, like second official book in the series. I think I read this already, like when I originally read the series. I think this is one of the ones that I read. I'm not trying not to spoil it. I don't remember a lot from the first time that I read, I think book 1 and book 2. I don't think I made it to the next one, but I think I managed to do Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. So technically they're rereads, but I retained so little of the information that it may as well be like a first read. But I'm gonna try and get through Crown of Midnight, The Heir of Fire, and basically, like, I don't know what any of these books are about because they're pretty far in the series, so I can't give anyone any sort of explanation. I'm just going to show you what I'm planning on getting through, and then we'll get to the palette cleanses. So Heir of Fire, which is the next one, I'm also going to try and get through Queen of Shadows. This, again, like, these are chunky books, so I don't know how ambitious I'm being because March is already like a very, very busy month. And also I have Empire of Storms on here as well. So I think this one is like a if I get time, because to get through these 3 and this, I think it's probably pushing it a little bit. Should also mention that listening to them on audiobook is really helping me to get through them because I can listen to it while I'm working, while I'm sculpting. So yeah, it's really been helpful to listen to them on audiobooks. But of the Throne of Glass series, I am going to try and get through these 4. Whether that happens or not, who knows at this point? Who knows? Now, the other books in this list, and this is where probably it's going to be like a very short video, this one. So the other books in this list, I wanted to pick really quick things that I could read just in case my brain got a little bit too frazzled by trying to read all the books in order at the same time. So just in case I needed to throw in a little palette cleanser I've got some very short books. I think they're mostly graphic novels, but let's get into it. So the first palette cleanser that I have is How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. This is part of the Cruel Prince series, so Jude and Carden. So this is part of that series, and it's just filled with like very short stories. There's like illustrations and things, so I think it's going to be like a very, very quick little read. I have read the original series, so I think this is just going to be a nice fun little thing to go on top of that. So this is our first palette cleanser. The next book on the list is one that has been on my TBR for God knows how long. It's been years, probably. And that is The Sad Ghost Club by Liz Meddings. So this has literally been on my TBR for the longest time. I have wanted to read this for the longest time. It is a little graphic novel about a sad ghost, and I think it's just about the sad ghost going about its like day-to-day life, and the illustrations like I'm obsessed with. Like, it's just the cutest little sad ghost. Ding dang it, like that. Honestly, obsessed. So I do think this started out either as like an online thing, or it's sort of become an online thing, because I'm sure I follow the Sad Ghost Club on Instagram as well. But it just seems like the cutest little, just like the sweetest little graphic novel. I'm not too sure what it is about. I think it's like about mental health and being okay with being sad, but don't hold me to it. When I've read it, I can tell you what it's about. But I am obsessed with the sad little ghost, so I am looking forward to this, and I hope I get to this one. And last but most certainly not least, it is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. And this is volume 1. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling. I think this one did definitely begin as like a online graphic novel, and it's like getting printed and bound up. So this is volume 1. So I think you can get it online still if you wanted to read it online, but I like having the books. So I haven't read this, and I'm saying it's a Persephone and Hades retelling as if I'm like very up to date with what that means. Not really sure what that means. I know that Hades is the god of the underworld, and I think Persephone has something to do with spring, question mark. And she ends up going down to the underworld, marrying him, she's stolen. I don't really know. I think there's just a lot of pining, the art style is cute, and I think it's going to be a good time. Like, it's not that deep, it's not that serious. I think it's going to be a good time. So that's why I've thrown this in. So basically with the palette cleanser books, I've sort of gone with ones where it's like, it's not that deep, it's not that serious, because I have a feeling that the Throne of Glass series is going to get intense, and it's going to be very deep and very serious. So I just need things in there where I can dip my toe in and be like, look, everything's fine, they're just sad ghosts, or like, oh, they're just pining for, like, do you know what I mean? Basically, I just need something where my brain can take a little break from the intensity of the Throne of Glass series. So yeah, they are all of the books on this month's TBR. I'm really excited to finally get into Throne of Glass. I'm really hoping that I can get into it. I think I will always be an ACOTAR girly. I think ACOTAR is always going to be my number one, but I just want to get through the series, and who knows, maybe that'll change. But until I get through the series, I also can't read Crescent City. So a lot is riding on me getting through the Throne of Glass series. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big ol' thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below, how intense is Throne of Glass going to get? Obviously, no spoilers, but how intense is this going to get? Am I going to be able to read all of it in the next month or two? Or is that a little bit insane and ridiculous? So let me know if you've read any of the other books. Let me know what you thought of them down below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like this. I am upping my YouTube game, so I am posting more regularly. And yeah, thank you very much again for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Bye!